Indian Wells continues on Friday with British number 1 Emma Raducanu starting her bid for a first title in 4.5 years. Indian Wells is into its fourth day as players look to progress in one of the most prestigious tournaments of the year outside of the 4 Grand Slams. The biggest names in tennis are involved, with many given byes to the second round. World number 2 Jannik Sinner is in action against Dalibor Svesina, while Carlos Alcaraz faces Grigor Dimitrov. Ahead of Carlos Alcaraz's involvement in the tournament, there has been another twist around his split from long-term coach Juan Carlos Ferrero 3 months ago. The coach has now spoken about the split. Italian player Lucrezia Stefanini, who lost in the qualifying round on Wednesday, has also confirmed that she had to beef up her own personal security after receiving death threats ahead of the match. British trio Jack Draper, Jacob Fearnley and Cameron Norrie take to the court on Saturday, while Emma Raducanu's campaign begins on Friday as she takes on Anastasia Zakharova. Sonia Cardle is the other British representative left in the women's tournament, with the world number 54 going up against Emma Navarro on Saturday. Alcaraz on Ferrero split. Carlos Alcaraz has opened up on his shock split from Juan Carlos Ferrero ahead of the Indian Wells Masters. Alcaraz, 22, and Ferrero, 45, split in December after working together for 7 years. The partnership proved to be successful as Alcaraz ended up winning 24 trophies, including 6 Grand Slam titles. Speaking to Eurosport, Alcaraz said, "I would say it is what it is. Obviously, I wouldn't say it's a new team. It's mostly the same members. We just restructured a little bit. The members are the same as before. We're just missing one. Every time I come back to a tournament I played last year, it feels a little bit different. You can feel it a bit, but we try to feel as comfortable as possible on and off the court." Djokovic singles out 2 wonderkids. Joao Fonseca has been one of the ATP Tour's recent breakout stars. Last year, he rose from outside of the world's top 100 and into the top 25, picking up his first 2 career titles. The Brazilian teenager has already attracted a lot of attention, with fans snaking around tournament sites to watch his matches. Even Novak Djokovic has touted the 19-year-old as a future superstar, but the 24-time Grand Slam champion also believes there are 2 other young stars who deserve as much hype as Fonseca, whose achievements have been left behind. The Serbian said, I think him, Lerner Tien, Fonseca, these guys, Jakub, Mensik, that's the generation. I don't know if they're the same age or maybe someone is year younger, year older, but I think Fonseca got a lot of spotlight, which is nice for him, but I think the other guys deserve that too because of the results and everything that have been showing, in the last couple of years, particularly in the last 12 months. Antonia Ruzic through to second round. Antonia Ruzic was one of the WTA players that progressed at Indian Wells overnight as the world number 57 beat United States' Jennifer Brady 3-6, 6-4, 6-2 in a 3-set thriller. Solana Sierra was another winner as she beat Peyton Stearns 7-5, 7-5, while Storm Hunter, Katerina Siniakova, Katie Volinets, and Haley Baptiste were the others to go through. Cerundolo edges 3-set thriller. Argentine ace Juan Manuel Cerundolo edged a 3-set thriller against Botic van de Zandschulp in one of the standout ATP first-round ties on Friday morning. World number 70 Cerundolo came out on top with a 7-6, 6-7, 6-3 win to progress into the last 64 of the Indian Wells tournament. Elsewhere, Alejandro Tabilo, Nuno Borges, Rinky Hijikata, Sebastian Corda, Mackenzie McDonald, and Vic Capriva were the other winners from the overnight ATP matches. Venus Williams complains about lack of cold water during first-round match with Diane Parry. Venus Williams is not happy with the lack of cold water courtside during her first-round match with Diane Parry. She said after winning the second set to force a decider, "If I can't get the water, I'm calling the referee. It doesn't take 2 sets to get cold water, and it's extremely unfair. It's not okay, get the water." Alexander Kovacevic outlasts Hubert Hurkacz and more. Indian Wells Open first-round results today. Alexander Kovacevic is in the second round after beating Hubert Hurkacz in straight sets, thanks to a pair of tiebreakers, 7-6, 6-7, 6-4. Sebastian Baez came through much more comfortably 6-3, 6-2 against qualifier Sang Chun Hsin and will play Yuri Lehecka in round 2. Donna Vekic, much like Kovacevic, won in straight sets after 2 tiebreakers, 7-6, 4, 7-6, 4, with Teresa Valentova. Laura Siegemund, meanwhile, came from a set down to beat Petra Marcinko 3-6, 6-3, 6-4, and will play Alina Svitolina in round 2. Sara Errani and Jasmine Paolini are also through in straight sets, beating Jacqueline Christian and Clara Tauson 6-2, 7-6, 6. Taylor Fritz in round 2 for Jacob Fearnley, but Fran Jones exits in first round to qualifier day. Jacob Fearnley will face Taylor Fritz in the second round after beating Damir Jumhur in straight sets 6-3, 6-3. The main draw win comes after losing successive first-round matches at challenger tournaments to lower-ranked opponents. Fran Jones, however, is out after a 6-3, 6-1 straight sets defeat to American qualifier Kayla Day. Jacob Fearnley wins first set as Alexander Shevchenko and Gregor Dimitrov progress to second round. Jacob Fearnley leads Damir Jumhur after taking the opening set 6-3. Fran Jones, however, is a set down to Kayla Day after losing the opener 6-3. Gregor Dimitrov, meanwhile, has won 6-4, 5-7, 6-4 against Terence at Maine, with Alexander Shevchenko also beating qualifier Sho Shimabukuro 6-4, 3-6, 6-2. Venus Williams is now out on court 1 against Diane Parry. Sonia Cardle thriving in Brighton-like conditions. She might be 5,000 miles away from home, but Brighton-based star Sonia Cardle loves returning to the Californian desert to compete at Indian Wells because it reminds her of the seaside city. It wasn't the prettiest performance from the British number 2 on Thursday, but she won her opening match and will now face 20th seed Emma Navarro. It's always tough playing a qualifier. They've already had 2 matches under their belt out here. To come out and, maybe not my finest performance today, but these first rounds are about getting it done and finding a way to get over the line, Cardle told Sky Sports. Obviously, today was a bit windy. The last few days it hasn't been windy really at all here. Like I said, matches like today are just about getting it done. So I'll be out here tomorrow on the practice court and working on a few things, but happy to get over the line. Places like here kind remind me of home with the conditions. The courts are a bit slower, it's windier. I grew up in Brighton, so it's one of the windiest places in the UK. I enjoy these courts, I enjoy these conditions. I enjoy the way my ball reacts off these courts. As players, you have favorite tournaments throughout the year, and this is one I definitely look forward to. Sonia Cardle through to Indian Wells Open second round after straight sets win over Thai qualifier. Sonia Cardle has beaten Lonlana Terarudi in straight sets 6-4, 6-4 to reach the second round, where she will play Emma Navarro, the 20 seed. Kamil Majkrak has also won 6-3, 1-6, 7-5 against Giovanni Pesci Pericard. Jacob Fearnley is next up on court 4 against Damir Jumhur. Fran Jones is the other Brit in action, playing American qualifier Kayla Day on court 7. Gua Hanyu and Kristina Mladenovic are, meanwhile, through in the doubles, beating Linda Noskova and Diana Schneider 6-4, 4-6, 10-2. Women's doubles top seeds Sara Errani and Jasmine Paolini are also now out on court 6, facing Jacqueline Christian and Clara Tauson. American success at Indian Wells Open as Ashlyn Kruger and Taylor Townsend through in straight sets. Ashlyn Kruger and Taylor Townsend are the first 2 players through to the second round today after straight set wins. Kruger won 6-1, 6-4 over Magda Linette, while Townsend beat Marie Buskova 6-2, 6-1. Alexander Kovacevic and Hubert Hurkacz will be out on court in half an hour. Donna Vekic and Teresa Valentova are next out on court 3. Indian Wells Open scores after opening sets as Gregor Dimitrov, Sonia Cardle and Taylor Townsend lead. Gregor Dimitrov 6-4 Terence at Maine. Ashlyn Kruger 6-1 Magda Linette. Taylor Townsend 6-2 Marie Buskova. Kamil Majkrak 6-3 Giovanni Pesci Pericard. Alexander Shevchenko 6-4 Sho Shimabukuro. Guohanyu and Kristina Mladenovic 6-4 Linda Noskova and Diana Schneider. Sony Cardle 6-4 Lana Terrority. Petra Marcinko 6-3 Laura Siegmund. Aryna Sabalenka wants radical Grand Slam rule change, which would give her huge advantage. Aryna Sabalenka is backing proposals for a best-of-5 format from the quarterfinals onwards at Grand Slams because she believes it would benefit her. 9 matches across the men's and women's singles are about to start, with Sony Cardle in action.